Patricia Lang had not taken a real Christmas vacation in 12 years. At 70 years old, she no longer needed to prove anything to anyone. She had already done that, quietly, relentlessly, and without ever raising her voice. After her husband died in the '89 crash, she took the insurance money, the small Denver real estate license she'd earned on night classes, and turned both into an empire nobody in her family ever bothered to notice. 47 luxury vacation homes from Vail to Jackson Hole, a private Gulfstream G650 she flew maybe 4 times a year, and a net worth that put her on the Forbes list under stealth wealth because she refused every interview. But her only daughter, Courtney, still thought mom was a sweet widowed retiree who clipped coupons and lived in a paid-off condo in Aurora. Which is exactly why Patricia decided this Christmas would be different. She sent the invitation in October. Courtney, Hunter, and the twins come to Aspen for Christmas week. I found the most darling chalet on VRBO. Ski in, ski out, private chef, the works, my treat. Love, Mom, Courtney replied in 8 seconds. OMG, yes. Hunter's been dying to go to Aspen. You're the best. Patricia smiled at the phone, then forwarded the message to her assistant with a single line. Make sure the house is fully staffed, and tell Marcus to have the G650 ready the 22nd. The house, if a 14,000 square foot timber and stone palace can be called a house, sat on Red Mountain, overlooking all of Aspen like it owned the town, which, technically, it did. Patricia had bought it in 2009 for $19 million cash, right after the market tanked. She renamed it Lang House on the deed and never told a soul in the family. December 22nd, Aspen Pitkin County Airport. Courtney stepped off the Gulfstream first, phone already in selfie mode, blonde hair whipping in the prop wash, lips in that permanent duck face she'd perfected at 39. Mom, this jet is insane. Whose is it? A friend's, Patricia said mildly, adjusting the cashmere scarf Courtney had once called Old Lady Beige. Hunter followed, AirPods in, Patagonia vest over a $3,000 Montclair jacket, carrying nothing but a Louis Vuitton weekender. The twins, Aspen and Breckenridge, yes, really, 16 years old and already professional influencers with 1.4 million TikTok followers combined, bounded down the stairs shrieking about the views. Inside the waiting fleet of black Suburbans, Courtney leaned forward. Mom, seriously, how did you afford this? Did you win the lottery and not tell me? Patricia just smiled. I saved my pennies. Courtney rolled her eyes. Okay, boomer. The drive up Red Mountain was all gasps and live stories. Hunter, look at this gate. Babe, film the driveway. It's giving Billionaire. Mom, are you sure this is the right house? This place is ridiculous. The staff 6 full-time that week stood in perfect formation on the front steps. White gloves, black uniforms, not a smile out of place. Courtney strode past them like she'd been born to it. Finally, some decent help. Patricia hung back, catching the eye of the house manager, Elena. Elena gave the tiniest nod. Everything is ready, Mrs. Lang. Inside, the great room soared 3 stories, floor-to-ceiling windows framing snow-frosted peaks. A 22-foot Fraser fir glittered in the corner, decorated exactly the way Patricia liked it. Classic red and gold, no trendy flocking or LED nonsense. Courtney dropped her Birkin on a $40,000 antique Persian rug. Cute tree, very 1995. Hunter was already yelling toward the kitchen. Yo, can someone bring champagne? The good stuff, none of that Colorado Prosecco crap. The twins disappeared upstairs to claim the 2 biggest bedrooms, the ones with private hot tubs on the balconies. Patricia stood quietly in the foyer, coat still on, watching her family scatter like they owned the place. That was fine. They had 6 days. Day 1. The rules. Courtney laid them down at dinner, served by the private chef Courtney kept calling the help. Mom, you don't have to eat with us if you don't want. The staff table is through there. She waved vaguely toward the pantry. Patricia sipped her water. I'm good here, thanks. Hunter laughed. Let her sit, babe, it's cute. Aspen, the daughter, filmed the entire thing for her Day in the Life of a Rich Girl series, narrating in whisper voice. So my grandma is literally the sweetest. She still thinks this is fancy. That night, Courtney cornered Patricia in the mudroom while she was hanging up coats. Listen, Mom, I love you, but this is our vacation. Hunter and I want to relax. Can you just handle the twins? Keep them out of our hair? They listen to you. Patricia smiled the same smile she used in boardrooms when someone tried to lowball her. Of course, honey. Day 2. The invisible grandmother. Patricia woke at 5:30 a.m., made coffee in the staff kitchen so she wouldn't bother anyone, then spent the morning driving the twins to ski school because Courtney claimed she had a migraine from the altitude. At lunch, Courtney and Hunter skied with new friends they'd met on the lift, some crypto couple from Miami. Patricia's security team had already flagged as grifters. That afternoon, Courtney posted an Instagram carousel. Family vacay in Aspen. Swipe for the views. The last slide was a photo of the chef plating Wagyu, captioned, Even the help here is next level. Patricia saw it while sitting in the ski school pickup line. She saved the post to a private folder labeled Christmas 2025. Day 3. The Chef Incident. Chef Luis had won a James Beard Award the year before. He did not enjoy being called the help. Courtney sent her plate back 3 times because the hollandaise was too lemony. Then she told Luis, loud enough for the dining room to hear, My mother-in-law eats in the kitchen with staff, so maybe take notes from her on how to keep it simple. Luis looked at Patricia. Patricia gave him the smallest shake of her head. Not yet. That night, Courtney got drunk on $800 bottles of Dom Perignon and told the table, Honestly, it's sad. Mom never made anything of herself. Dad's life insurance barely covered the funeral. She's been alone forever because no one could stand how boring she is. Hunter raised his glass. To Patricia, the patron saint of showing up with a credit card. Everyone laughed. The twins filmed it for TikTok, adding the laughing crying emoji. Patricia excused herself early. In her private office on the lower level, hidden behind a bookcase, the family never noticed. She opened her laptop and watched the security footage of the dinner. She saved that too. Day 4. Christmas Eve. The family slept until noon. Patricia was up at 6, wrapping the last of the gifts she'd had flown in. Cartier for the twins, a new Hermes for Courtney, Patek Philippe for Hunter. She placed them under the tree herself. Courtney came down in La Perla silk pajamas, took one look at the presents, and scoffed. Mom, we said no gifts. We're too old for this, and honestly, you can't afford it. Patricia just smiled. Open them anyway. Inside Courtney's box, the Hermes bag, yes, and a printed Amex statement showing the $28,000 charge. Courtney's mouth opened, closed. How? Santa's generous this year, Patricia said. Hunter's watch was real too. He immediately put it on and posted, Christmas came early, #blessed. That evening, the neighbors' actual billionaires, who knew exactly who Patricia was, were hosting a Christmas Eve party. Courtney begged invitations. Sorry, Patricia said. They only had room for 6. I gave your spots to the chef and his family. Courtney's face went purple. You what? You said he was the help. I thought he'd enjoy it. That was the first time Courtney screamed at her mother in front of the twins. Day 5. Christmas morning, 8 a.m. The twins tore through their gifts like piranhas. Courtney and Hunter nursed hangovers on the couch, scrolling phones. Patricia made hot chocolate the way she used to when Courtney was little with real whipped cream and cinnamon. Courtney took one sip and set it down. Mom, this has dairy. You know I'm lactose intolerant now. Sorry, Patricia said. I forgot. At 10 a.m., the pilot, Marcus, called Patricia's private cell. Mrs. Lang, the plane is fueled and ready whenever you give the word. Thank you, Marcus. Stand by. At 11 a.m., Courtney announced they were all going to the Little Nell for Christmas brunch with better people. She told Patricia she could stay and watch the house. Patricia nodded. That's fine. Actually, I think I'll head out early myself. Courtney barely looked up. Cool, leave the Amex on the counter. We'll need it for dinner. The show, 12:30 p.m. The family came back from town at 4:30, flushed from mimosa brunch and shopping. They walked into the great room laughing about how Grandma probably napped all day. Instead, they found 40 people in cocktail attire, drinking vintage Krug around the Christmas tree. The neighbors from last night, the chef and his family, Elena and the entire staff in street clothes, a string quartet in the corner, and Patricia in a floor-length burgundy velvet gown, and the 20-carat diamond necklace she never wore holding court by the fire. Courtney stopped dead. Mom, what the hell? Patricia raised her glass. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for coming. She pressed a button on her phone. The 120-inch TV above the fireplace lit up. The first slide, the deed to the house, recorded in Patricia Lang's name, 2009. Second slide, the deed to the Gulfstream, same name, 2018. Third slide, a Forbes screenshot, Patricia Lang, 71, Denver. Estimated net worth $1.1 billion. Source, real estate, private aviation. The room went silent. Courtney's mouth moved like a goldfish. Hunter found his voice first. This is a joke, right? Patricia smiled the warmest, coldest smile of her life. No joke, sweetheart. I own this house. I own the plane you flew in on. I own the Amex you've been maxing out since you were 25. I paid for your wedding, your Range Rover, Breckenridge's nose job, and every private school tuition since preschool. She turned to the twins, who were filming everything wide-eyed. And you two, I paid your brand deals when the sponsors ghosted you last year. You're welcome. Then she looked back at Courtney and Hunter. But since I'm just the boring old widow who never made anything of herself, I think it's time I stop subsidizing people who treat me like the help. She nodded to Elena. Two security guards in plain clothes stepped forward. Mr. and Mrs. Whitmore, your Uber Black is here. It'll take you to the Hotel Jerome. I've booked you a standard room for one night on me. After that, you're on your own. Courtney lunged forward. You can't do this. I can, Patricia said quietly. And I am. Hunter tried charm. Mom, come on, it's Christmas. It is, Patricia agreed. And I'm spending it with people who respect me. She turned to the chef. Luis, would you mind serving dinner in 20 minutes? I'm starving. Courtney was screaming now, ugly crying, mascara running. The twins were live streaming the whole thing, 180,000 people watching, as their mother was escorted out of a house she thought she was gracing with her presence. At the door, Courtney whirled one last time. You're dead to me, you hear me? Dead. Patricia didn't flinch. Merry Christmas, Courtney. I love you. Goodbye. The door closed. The room erupted in applause. Patricia raised her glass again. To chosen family. Everyone drank. Epilogue. New Year's Eve, 1 week later, Patricia sat on the same couch, fire crackling, watching the snow fall over Aspen. The house was quiet now. Truly hers, again quiet, warm, filled with people who knew her real name and still called her Patty. Her phone buzzed. A text from Courtney. Mom, I'm so sorry. Please, can we talk? I'll do anything. Patricia stared at it for a long time. Then she opened a new message to her lawyer. Effective January 1st, remove Courtney and Hunter from all trust distributions. Move the twins to educational trusts only, accessible at 25, and schedule a new will signing next week. She hit send. Then she blocked Courtney's number, poured herself a small glass of 1978 port, and turned on the cashmere throw Courtney had once called itchy and cheap, and watched the fireworks over Ajax Mountain. For the first time in decades, Patricia Lang felt something she hadn't felt since the day her husband died. Peace. And it fit her better than any diamond ever had. Merry Christmas indeed.